Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
Folks, this is an absolutely huge win for Ripple and for XRP holders. This is what we were hoping and what we were expecting. Here is part of a tweet from James K. Filan, who of course is an attorney and a member of the XRP community, and he wrote in part, "The court has denied the SEC's motion for reconsideration of the deliberative process privilege ruling." That is gigantic. So upon seeing that, I retweeted that and I wrote the following. Huge win for Ripple today. This means Ripple will get to see the 63 Hinman emails unless the SEC is able to successfully appeal to Judge Torres, which it has 14 days to do. This is the beginning of the end of the lawsuit in all likelihood. Odds for settlement high. Now, folks, you know me. I don't like to get ahead of myself and overly excited, but this is cause for excitement. And so I did have a little, if you look on your screen, you can see I have a little fingers crossed emoji because this isn't a guarantee, and I acknowledge that. But given what we suspect may be in these notes, in no small part due to the fact that the SEC has fought relentlessly to continue to hide all of these relevant documents and emails, it just seems very clear that this is extremely damaging. Whatever's in there, it's got to be extremely damaging to the SEC's case. That's reasonable speculation, and Attorney John Deaton, no less, has communicated that. In fact, I'm going to share with you the specifics as a reminder in just a minute. Attorney John Deaton stated before this happened that if these emails are ruled, if it's ruled by the judge that Ripple should receive these emails, then the SEC will settle within 90 days. So the timer's about to start. Plenty to uncover and review here, but before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Oh, and by the way, so I've got this. I got some dead trees in my hand, if you can hear that. This document is 11 pages, and then, what time is it now? 8:21 p.m. on Monday, whatever the hell, it's the 11th, yeah, it's the 11th. 8:21 p.m. Central Standard Time at the time I'm recording this, so I tweeted that at about an hour and a half ago, and since then I was just reading this document, mapping out the content for this video, and I gotta tell you, like, there's a part here, and I'll let you know when we get there. The judge basically bitch smacks the SEC, deservedly so. I also got comments coming up from Attorney Filan, Deaton, and Hogan. And I'm going to do that, and after I cover their comments, then I'm going to go into some of the specifics within this 11-page document. I highlighted the most interesting and tasty morsels. Oh, it's so delightful. Here it is from James Filan. He tweeted out, "This is a very big win for Ripple. The SEC has 14 days to file an objection to this decision to District Judge Torres." Here you have a tweet from Attorney John Deaton on this. "This is not just a win for Ripple and XRP holders, but for the judicial system. After the March 2021 hearing, I said we were lucky to get Judge Netburn. Some of you disagree, but I still believe it. The SEC is now officially in a hurt locker." Whew. Well, I'll tell you what, I do agree, and I know not everybody, he's right, like, I understand, and it's fine. There are people in the community that are not a fan of Judge Netburn. I'm a fan. I think, by and large, to be quite honest and be very frank with you, I think the vast majority of the way that she's approached this case makes sense and is good for XRP holders. The vast majority. And I wouldn't expect everything to flow in Ripple and XRP holders' favor necessarily in terms of all this pre-trial stuff. But damn, the vast majority, it's been absolutely fantastic. And this, again, this right here could end everything. So here's a quick reminder what John Deaton said on this. This was an article from Finance Feeds from March 29th this year, titled "XRP Lawsuit. SEC rather settle with Ripple than hand over docs, says attorney." And there's just a small part of this I want to read. This is what Attorney John Deaton said before this ruling came down just a couple weeks ago. The SEC, this is a quote from Deaton, "The SEC will not, in my opinion, turn over these documents. Hence, if we get a ruling that they must be turned over, I believe the case settles within 60 to 90 days from that decision, or possibly sooner." And then the piece continues. John Deaton reminded that Ripple lawyers informed the court very recently that they believe the SEC could be, quote, concealing potentially evidence that Hinman himself or others may have analyzed XRP and concluded it's not a security. And so here's another quote from attorney Deaton now. In other words, and this is from 2 weeks ago also, roughly. In other words, is XRP contained within one of the 52 unique drafts of the speech? Was it removed? If so, by who? If it was included, by who? Obviously, I don't know precisely what's in the 63 emails, 52 drafts, or any of the suggestions and comments that accompany them. But it's safe to say it's helpful to Ripple and very damaging to the SEC's case. If XRP is contained within a draft, or it was suggested by one or more of the staff to be included along with Bitcoin and Ethereum, game over. End quote. So as the timer started, well, we'll see. I mean, again, there's an opportunity, as I cited, for the SEC to appeal this up to Judge Torres. But outside of that, it's like, take your ball and go home, SEC. It's over. Now, there is a cause for concern potentially, according to attorney Jeremy Hogan. And I'm going to share with you what he said right now. And then I'll get into, before this video is over, why I'm not necessarily as worried as him. Now, he's the attorney, so, I mean, his word means a lot more than mine. I'm not pretending it doesn't. I'm not an attorney. But I do want to share with you my personal opinion and my rationale for saying that, and I'm willing to be persuaded. Jeremy Hogan may know some additional things or have additional opinions that would cause me to easily be persuaded, but I'll just share with you right now. After reading this entire document and reading Jeremy Hogan's concern, I personally, at least at this moment in time, I'm not particularly worried, especially seeing how fair Judge Netburn has been to this point. But here's what attorney Jeremy Hogan had to say. Judge Netburn sticks to her guns on the DPP issue, that's deliberative process privilege issue, and reorders the production of the emails related to Hinman's speech. The order includes some uncharacteristic SEC chastising from our judge. And then he writes in parentheses, I'm mirroring her and stating that as politely as possible. The order is a little concerning because she allows redaction of parts which discussed separate agency deliberations. My concern, it's those parts of the emails that are most damaging to the SEC. How will we know? If the SEC appeals up to Judge Torres, they are in trouble. And I'll explain why he said that and before the video is out. I think that's probably towards the end of this document, so it's probably going to be one of the last things I cover. Yeah, it's going to be just about the last thing I cover in this video, but I promise you I'll get around to my rationale for why. I personally am not particularly concerned. While I do acknowledge there's an opportunity for this to go off the rails, we'll see though. So into the document now, and I'm going to start, the first part I highlighted was on page 2, and I'll try and scroll down, or I'll try to remember to scroll down for those of you looking on the screen as I go through this here. Just a little snippet here towards the bottom that I wanted to highlight right here where I'm circling the mouse. Legal standard. This is from the judge. This is the document that was shared by Attorney Filan just a couple hours or so ago. Reconsideration of a previous order by the court is an extraordinary remedy to be employed sparingly in the interests of finality and conservation of scarce judicial resources. So just pause. This is why I keep saying, and this is why I'm so excited about this. Like, to me, the fact that the SEC has gone to such great lengths to try and convince the judge to change her opinion, and now we see they've failed, it shows the degree to which they're desperate. They haven't seemed this desperate, not to this degree, on anything else in this case. I've been following this over a year. There's nothing that even comes close to this. And their arguments are so poor, and the judge does highlight that, as you'll see, and it's delightful as we go through this. You're going to absolutely love this. So keep sticking with me. The best is actually yet to come in this video, frankly. But scarce judicial resources says, yeah, no kidding. There's a reason like most court cases end up settling. And Jeremy Hogan has pointed this out in the past. If every case that was brought actually ended up going to trial, there's not enough judicial resources to handle it. Not even close. Almost all cases, at least with the SEC, end up settling. Now let me go on down to page 4. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to start at the bottom, then flip. This is basically an explanation of the SEC's claims, which reads as follows. The SEC has identified no intervening change of controlling law or any other controlling decisions unaddressed by the court's January 13th, 2022 order. So I'll pause to note that January 13th order, that's when the judge initially ruled that these emails must be handed over, and that's when the SEC began throwing a hissy fit and demanding that the judge reconsider, even though you should only do that under extraordinary circumstances, and these were not extraordinary circumstances. The asshats at the SEC did it anyway. Now, moving on to page 5, reads as follows. The SEC claims, however, that the court overlooked two factual issues. First, the comments left by SEC staff on drafts of the speech, as well as the drafts and the final text themselves, show that Hinman made the speech in order to communicate the approach of the SEC's Division of Corporation Finance on the regulation of digital asset offerings, as confirmed by the relevant regulations governing SEC employees' public statements. Relatedly, the SEC argues that the speech was the end product of significant collaboration by many staffers across the SEC, as evidenced by the 68 drafts and associated commentary in the SEC's privilege logs. Deliberations regarding the speech's content were, according to the SEC, an essential link in the agency's deliberations about whether transactions in a particular digital asset involve the sale of a security. So there you go. That, in a nutshell, that's what the SEC has stated. That's their complaint. And don't forget also that after initially stating that the Bill Hinman Ethereum Free Pass speech was just his personal opinion, part of their argument then became, after not liking the January 13th ruling from the judge, their argument switched and they said, well, it's his personal opinion, but it's also, in addition to that, the official position not of the SEC, but of the Division of Corporation Finance, which Bill Hinman at the time was running. So you can have apparently a few different entities here. And this is complete garbage, and the judge rejected it very flatly in this, but the assertion there would have been there can be a personal opinion of an individual, the perspective, official position of a division of the SEC, and then an official SEC position. So three separate things it could be, which is complete and utter nonsense. I mean, if you're talking about the division, if it were the official position of the division, then it's the official position of the SEC. That's at the top of the SEC, folks. It's like, what if not that, then what? Of course that would make it.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.